Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we need to expand our realm. We've also got this Liberty faction brewing, but we've got a little bit of time. So I'd like to come up over like this direction and get these guys cleaned up with just a de jure CB. So let's get that declared. Let's raise our forces right about here. And I'm just going to raise men-at-arms. I was thinking about attacking these guys simultaneously because we'll have the men-at-arms in this area, but if these are going to take 13 months to raise, that puts us in pretty tight timing here for this Liberty faction, so I think I'll hold off on that for right now. So for now, we'll just expand by 3 additional counties. That's a small amount of what we need, of course. And we're going to walk in down here once we have what we can. We got a stewardship perk, and that is going to be defensive measures. We can delay this siege a little bit, maybe, and that'll be absolutely fine. The real question is, how long will this actually take to get here? Because I don't think it'll take quite this long. So that's definitely noted. We can also hold court, which that does generate us legitimacy. We should probably do this. So let's see what we've got here. I don't want to give this guy Aranad. No. That would lose us legitimacy? A 100% chance of a mercantile charter? That sounds okay. It's not ideal. Minus 20% taxes. I really don't want to give this guy Aranad. That would be really bad for us. But I guess we'll take 20% tax reduction. That's not ideal. Okay, what do we got here? This guy would maybe convert. He did. Cool. Fantastic. And who is this person? Mayor Kaba? I don't care. Cool. So our business here is done, and that raises our legitimacy level, which is a good thing. But our legitimacy is still very low, and that's understood. Okay, we now have enough forces here to be able to chase these guys down, but their leader is a child. So I'm actually going to go up here and siege, and we'll do that first. So they're going to come up over here. There's a chance that perhaps we catch their leader, and we did. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to enforce those demands. That only took us 4 months. If we had the capability of declaring war out over here... Hang on. This is already happening. This is being conquered by our vassal. Okay, cool. So I'm going to scan these guys down at this moment, and of course, we need to grant out these titles, so we'll grant these out to nobles of Tamil culture. Unfortunately, these are nomadic settlements, and I don't think we can change that. I'd like to change it, but I don't think we can. So that's understood. At this point, okay, we've got the Maturidi populace in 17 months, and the Liberty faction in 15. Noted. So that's still a ways out. This ransom is acceptable. So if this is currently being attacked by our vassal, then that's great. That's going to expand the realm. We could theoretically go after this guy. I think we have enough time to do it. I'm going to do that. So we're going to raise up our rally point somewhere around here. We'll raise our men-at-arms, and they should get here quasi-quickly anyway. I don't think we have time to do a big campaign down over here, although I'd really like to. We might do that after this faction is done. We'll see what things are looking like at that point. So that's all looking good for now, but we definitely need to get these guys raised. They should be here majoritively here in just a few more weeks, probably, in theory. Yeah, there they are, actually. So we're going to go in. This is not all of our forces up here, but we don't need all of our forces to be up here. Let's save this money for now. That'll be fine. Okay, I do want to go spend some money, actually. Down over this direction, in Madurai, we can boost up our workshops. And then up in Cananor, we can build ourselves a militia camp. And that'll be absolutely perfect. So back up over here, we see that he's trying to siege up this direction, but I think he'll just surrender from this. Yeah, so that's done. Fantastic. We'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. Now we need to be considering... Okay, this Liberty faction is bigger now. I think we need to take this Liberty faction seriously at this moment, and I'm not going to, like, try to ally them. I'm going to fight them. I'm not going to give up our crown authority either. I'm going to fight them. But we need to take it seriously and not raise our forces a really long ways away at this point. It's sad, but I think that's what we need to do. We can continue to invest some money into boosting up our men-at-arms, which, of course, is always a good thing. Okay, so we dropped down our stress level. That's absolutely fine, and this ransom is acceptable. Looks good. Who's going to be the leader here? Yeah, show this guy in. Excellent. Okay, so this guy is going to be the war leader. That ultimatum is available in 3 months. I'm going to pre-raise, and we're going to do that at 1 month remaining. So we're just waiting at this moment. Okay, 2 months. Also, those nomads went away. That's interesting. 2 months, 1 month. Okay, we need to raise now. So I'm going to pre-raise in his capital. We're going to raise everything here. It's going to take us 3 months to get everything there, but at least we will have a 1 month lead on this. And there's our majorative forces, so that looks good. So now we're just waiting until he actually fires. So this ransom is acceptable. This ransom is fine. This ransom is also fine. Okay. So where is this guy firing at? Like, when is this going to happen? It can happen at any time. As of right now, he's not doing it, though. We're going to continue to gather our forces. We've got 30 days left in our gather, so we'll have a few forces trickle in, but it really doesn't matter. We've got what we need at this moment. Ah, here we go. We will not be threatened. Perfect. So they have about 62,000 troops. We're going to do this and this. That will get us the siege started. And in fact, while we're still gathering, we're currently sieging, which is kind of wild. But there we go. That looks good. And we'll summon the physician. Cool. Hungarian boils, huh? Okay. We can extort subjects, and we probably should. Let's go ahead and do that. What do we got? They even live by my mercy alone. Cool. So that looks fine. This ransom is also acceptable, and I want to spend more money on our buildings down over here. So we can actually upgrade this blacksmith, and that would be a good thing to do. We can also upgrade this regimental ground, and now our money is spent. So that looks fine. So he's walking up over here. I'm going to split off a siege force here. This is probably fine. And these guys are going to go around and just do some sieging. We don't want them to fight. We do, however, want to come up here and fight this force. Now, this is not where their war leader is. Their war leader's here. And actually, this is a liberty war. He's going to be going after our capital, and he's currently embarking for that. So that's something to note. We're going to want to go down there ourselves. So I want to continue to siege here. We're going to fight this force and stack wipe it. There we go. And now we need to probably embark this and sail this down to our capital. We'll be there in 4 months. We should be able to do that without any major problems. So we're going to walk down over to here, which is apparently going to give us attrition because we don't have this. Right. By the time we get there, we might have it. We'll see how our siege goes. Yeah, we'll be good. Cool. So that looks fine. I'm going to walk over this direction now. Yeah, he's definitely heading for our capital. So we've got that under control. We'll head down there ourselves. We'll summon the physician yet again. Did we just lose 100 legitimacy? That's unfortunate. Okay. Those plagues are rough when that happens. Okay, so we'll head on down this direction. Looks good. And he's sailing back? Hang on. What's he doing? We're locked into embarkation. So we're just going to hang out here for now, and we need to figure out where he's going. Okay, we finished this siege. Is he coming back up over here? Because this is a bad idea. We just need to sail along with him and fight him wherever he decides to land. In the meantime, He's heading up a river? That's kind of wild. Where is this guy going? Like, no, seriously. I don't even know what direction he's going in this fork. He go this way? He must have. We would have seen him up here. So, he must be up here. There's a snake at court. Okay. Sure, somebody failed their scheme. That's fine. So, I want to keep sieging down over this direction. I have no idea where this guy's sailing to. Here he is. So he's disembarked up over here. Wild stuff. I don't know what his goal is there, but he's about to lose. So that seems good. We'll get that taken care of. That's the majority of his army, and he is himself present there. So that actually ends this war. We stack wiped that, and that looks perfect. So we'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. Cool. That gained us 50 legitimacy. So we're almost back up to where we were. Almost. We also just inherited this county title up over here. But we didn't. Okay, cool. So that seems fine. What else do we have in here? So we have 17 months until nomads. So I want to declare war on this guy. We're going to have to raise up our forces up here, and it's going to take them a while to get here. That's understood. I'm going to raise them back here. Okay, so that looks fine, and that's no problem whatsoever. So the idea here is that we're going to walk in here and stack wipe them just as soon as we can. We hope, anyway. So the next question is, how long is it going to take our men-at-arms to actually get here? And the answer is not very long, so that looks good. Our wife died of typhus, and that was, I think, our high-quality wife. Yes. So we need a new one. And of course, all of the high stewardship wives are lowborn. How does this always happen? This one's literally the best one possible. Okay. Well, it's not ideal, but it'll do. So, is she landed? Wait, she is landed, isn't she? She has a barony title. Out over here. That's not ideal, because she can't manage our realm. If we make her our primary spouse, and then we come in here, and we let that update, you have no available spouse. So that's not going to work. We need someone else. We could marry her. If we elevate her to our primary spouse, we'll lose a lot of legitimacy. We don't have much legitimacy to start with, so maybe that's not the worst problem, but it's certainly not ideal. I really wish nobles would start educating their daughters in stewardship. That'd be really useful. Unfortunately, they're just not interested. So is she landed? No, she's unlanded. So this one will work, although Bleeder is not ideal. But are there other options? I mean, no, not really. Not of that skill level anyway. So I guess this will do, but it's certainly not ideal. Certainly not ideal. Okay, so we're going to make her be our primary spouse. And now she'll be able to be an available spouse here once that updates. And she instantly got typhus. Incredible. Now she's dying. Okay, well, that's exciting. She'll be unavailable while she has typhus, I think. Well, no, but it is harming her stats. She's at least only in poor health now. So there's that. So we're at 9 of 8, and that's, of course, wildly problematic for us. We really, really would like to not be at 9 of 8 right now. So up over this direction, our forces are currently on their way in over here. I'm going to change the direction that we're going. We're not going to catch this force. Okay. So at this moment, the real problem is that everyone is getting typhus. Like, that is a significant issue. The main... Okay, we got typhus now, too. And we're a little brighter. Are we still dying? Because we would really like to not die at 43. We're not dying right now. Okay, that's good. So, we won this war. We'll disband these troops. And if we do end up dying young again, this is going to be rough. Typhus is right down over here, and it's not ideal, obviously. So we've got nomads out over here. 12 months on that. This ransom is not acceptable. We will not take that. Out over this way, I want to get our regimental grounds upgrading. I also want to ideally upgrade our workshops, but we can't afford that right now. We can, however, upgrade our blacksmiths, so we'll do that. Okay, this ransom is acceptable. And hopefully everyone recovers from typhus. The dream here is that if our wife recovers from typhus, our primary wife, if she recovers from typhus, the dream is that that +2 stewardship brings us up enough to get 9 of 9 domain. That's the dream. If that doesn't happen, we may have to take other steps. Okay, so she just recovered, and we're still at 9 of 8. That's very unfortunate. She's still at 14 stewardship. She was at 16 previously. Maybe this hasn't updated yet. Does this require a month tick? The -2 from typhus is gone. You can see typhus has a -2. And she's at 14 instead of 16. Which is odd. She's supposed to be at 16. We have succeeded in surviving typhus. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. Okay, we're at 9 of 9. It was us having the typhus. Okay, gotcha. So that looks fine. We're at 9 of 9 now, and that's what we needed. So that sounds good. I'm going to get an upgrade going here, and we really do want this typhus to go away, but it's not the biggest of deals now that we have survived it. So that's all great. I want to start thinking about who we're going to subjugate. I'd like it to be this guy. Unfortunately, he's Mataridi, and that's just not going to be a thing. So maybe we should instead press a claim out over this way, like this, but that's so expensive due to our legitimacy. Our legitimacy is a significant problem there. These guys are going to fire in 9 months, so we need to be prepared for that, but I'm not very concerned about this. This is only 3 counties, so that's not particularly frightening at this moment. What about this guy? We could holy war for this kingdom. We could also holy war for a kingdom up over this way, like this, and that would get us a decent number of counties. Remember, we need to conquer like 150 counties in this guy's lifetime, and we can see that somewhere. Is that in our decisions? Where do we see our oath at? I remember seeing that previously. Oh, it's right here. And we only have 15 years to do this, actually. So, we're at 511 right now, and we need to get to 656. So we need to expand a lot. So that means that we need to do some pretty rapid expansion out over this way. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to do de jure claims out over here. I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 3. 4. 5. And 6. So we're going to take all of these de jure down over here. So that's what we'll do for now, and we'll get that taken care of. So we need to raise our men-at-arms somewhere up over this direction. That'll take only 2 months to raise, so that actually is very solid. Okay. Who is this guy? Also, this is kind of awkward. Increased maintenance is fine. So who is this guy? Our tributary. Okay. I don't actually care about this. I'm going to decline that. Okay. We lost a level of fame. That's understood. So we're going to hop out over this direction. Stewardship perk is available, and we will definitely take organized muster roles or professional workforce. I'm going to take professional workforce. That'll be fine. So we're going to get this finished up here, about 15 more days. Cool. So in we go, and this will, of course, wrap up this war immediately. And we need to just sweep down and push this direction. So this war is over, and we'll enforce those demands. That's a de jure war, and we're going to head down over to here. We may as well grab here, since we're going to be passing right through it. That'll be fine. What is this? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Send my regards. Wonderful. So now the question is, when are these guys going to fire? The answer is 6 months. Again, I'm not concerned about this. We gain stress because our son has been stillborn, I think. No, actually, this was our new wife that just died in childbirth. Unfortunate. So she died in childbirth. The son is okay, but now we need another stewardship wife. And the options continue to be extraordinarily slim. Well, she's skill 14, so I guess we'll go with this one, since the previous one was able to succeed at skill 14. Theoretically, anyway. So we need to make her be our new primary spouse. There we go. And we should go back to 9 of 9. Theoretically. As soon as this updates. One of these days. There we go. Perfect. 9 of 9. So that's what we're looking for. And we'll just come in, stack wipe this. Nice and quick. I don't want to lose legitimacy. Okay, so this war is over. We're going to enforce those demands. And then we're going to walk in right over here. Excellent. Leeches. Sure. We'll go for it. And at this point, we need to get ourselves a new marshal. That is going to be this guy, although he's currently dying. I'm sure it'll be fine. So this war is over, and we need to enforce those demands. And then we need to come down over this way. We also don't have a leader here, and it can be this guy. Okay. So we need to, of course, wrap up these wars because we have a pretty significant problem brewing up. Although, actually, this isn't that significant. It's just the timing, right? 2 months. We're probably not going to be done with this in 2 months. We're definitely not going to be done with this in 2 months. So, a true and loyal vassal. Fantastic. I want to go spend our money real quick. And this is going to be down in, like, Madurai. We can bump up this workshop. And that'll be absolutely perfect. What else can we do up over this way? Well, we can bump up this outpost, and that seems fine. So back up over here, we're continuing to expand. We'll make our way up over this direction. We've got ourselves a bit of a campaign going on up here, but these nomads are, you know, always problematic. And we need to head down over this direction. So we need to figure out where these nomads are going to be. So this is going to be... Where are you? Up over here? Okay. I'm going to raise up a few non-men-at-arms forces up here, and we'll keep an eye on that situation. So, that looks good for now. This war is over. We'll enforce those demands. And we're going to head on up over this direction. These guys are fighting each other conveniently. Our wife has typhus. Of course she does. Okay, successful treatment. And that brings us down to 9 of 8. Because, yeah, of course she has typhus. Well, we'll see if this wife dies super early as well. Hopefully not. Okay, so these guys are now firing again. You want freedom? You shall have it in death. So they're up over here, which is exactly where we expected them to be. And I want to raise up a few more forces than this. I want to be able to pretty much guaranteed stack wipe them, ideally. So that pretty much means a 10-to-1 ratio. We're going to walk up over here. And then apparently we lost our leader here yet again. Okay, sure. So we're going to get this finished up. No problem there. There we go. And we're going to enforce those demands. And we're going to head on down over this way. Cool. So we're fighting this battle. I'm hoping for the stack wipe. It's looking okay, but we didn't stack wipe. Okay. So ticking is on our side. We're going to need to try to chase them down up over here, and this war is likely going to end just from that, so that's not a big deal. So ticking is on our side here. No problem there. Where are they retreating to? Out over this way? Sure. We'll work on chasing them down. Okay, our wife no longer has typhus, and that means we're back up at 9 of 9. So that's good. And this war, as expected, is over. We'll enforce those demands. And then these guys, they can just start kind of walking up over this way. So there's also some nomadic revolt up over here, looks like. Noted. Okay, but the ticking is currently on our side, so that looks good. We'll continue to head out over this way. Boy, they're retreating a long ways. They're retreating like all the way over to here. So we may want to head out over this direction. This territory should not be held by us. Why is this territory held by us and not counting towards our domain limit? Nomadic vassals are weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't want this to be held directly by us. So we're going to do that. Okay. Yep, show this person in. That'll be absolutely fine. No problem there. That looks good. So we're 3 vassals above our limit, which isn't necessarily shocking. I want to move some of these over. So this is supposed to be... Are these not de jure? Okay. I guess they're not de jure. We need to grant some vassals out over this direction. 1, 2, and 3. Problem solved. Okay, there we go. That'll be fine. And we're going to bring these guys up and over. Eventually, they'll all arrive up here. Theoretically. We've got 7 months until they arrive here. And then we're going to be arriving here in 4 months. So, that's understood. We also just got this war. I don't know that we care about it, though. I don't think we care. So that all seems fine for right now. And we'll just bring our forces up here eventually, and we'll get this taken care of. It's awkward that this is as spread out as it is, but this is how these nomadic wars always go. They're just incredibly annoying. They don't group up, and they're just extremely spread out, and it takes a million years to get around. So we're going to head up over here. We'll be there in 5 months. That's fine. We're going to be heading up over here. We'll be there in 50 days. We'll see if we can get there in time. Ticking, of course, is on our side, so that's absolutely okay, except these guys are here now. So they're going to take over ticking war score. I'm going to bring in these guys. And they're going to head in right over here. We'll get that taken care of. Okay, so the Holy Order will take care of that. And we have our other forces up over this direction. Eventually, we'll arrive up here. Eventually. So the Holy Order is giving battle, and we should win that pretty easily. We stack wiped it, in fact. I'm going to leave the Holy Order in this area. Okay, so they're going to try to siege there. Actually, the war's over, so we'll enforce those demands. Fantastic. But we can't put our forces down because of this nomadic migration. Well, we can, but they're going to take like 2 years to return. So that's obnoxious. No doubt about it. That is very obnoxious. So here's what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to drop a rally point here. We're going to bring in some mercenaries, and we're going to want, like, crossbows, spearmen. I guess these will do. And we're just going to walk in up over here. And you can see they're running away, even though the game thought that we were going to lose that. That means that we're not going to lose that. So we're going to walk up over this way. And and that completely restarted our move. Wild. Okay, so we're going to head up here. We should probably actually... They might win this, but this at least buys us some time. I'm going to get all of these guys moving over here. But let's see what happens with this battle. We are, in fact, losing this. Okay, that is sad. If we had spearmen, but we don't. But they don't have the troops, so we're actually going to end up winning this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they just didn't quite have the troop quantity to pull that off. Hilarious. We won with 38 troops left, so we need to walk down over this way. And we need to chase them. So we need a new marshal. Again, that's going to be this guy, and that's fine. I really want to wrap this up. Like, really, really badly. Because I want out of this war immediately to plan our next war. So they're retreating down this direction, and I have no idea where they're actually going. They're very fast, and we'll head this direction. These guys should be heading over here. Okay. Promote legend? No, I'm going to decline that. So at this point, if we surrendered this, he would migrate to the contested title. Okay. Well, he's actually coming back here. He's actually coming back up over this way, isn't he? I bet you he is. Okay, I'm not going to chase him. We're going to come up this direction instead. We can also raise some additional forces here. That would be fine. We'll see what we can get up over here in the meantime. Okay, now he's coming back over this way. Very rude. So we're going to walk around over this direction and look to fight him. It'll take us a little bit to get here. But yeah, these nomadic wars are very obnoxious. I wish that they would just chill. You have to chase down these very fast armies, and they're just tiny, and there's usually a lot of them spread out over a very wide area. Very, very sad. But we've got plenty of troops over here now, so we're going to come over and reinforce. We'll see how this battle goes. We're winning at this time, so a better advantage roll off the bat. I like it. This is a very good sign. Cool. War's over. So we're going to end this war and disband our troops. That's fantastic, because we need to be doing more expansion, and a lot of it. Like, fighting over here would be fantastic. This is all de jure ours. Fighting up here would be good. This is probably de jure ours. Some of it is anyway. And yeah, that's going to be the plan. We have to expand. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.